my channel. My name is Kay if you're new here. On this channel we create lifestyle content mainly in the form of vlogs and a few sit-downs here and there. This is the very first episode of KayTalks and we have the one and only Mrs Tjimee Maendo. Yeah, so if you do not remember, KayTalks is a safe space for men and women to grow, to laugh and to heal. And today we have Tjimee. Tjimee, please briefly introduce yourself to anyone who does not know you.
Okay, so my name is Tjimee Maendo. I am 24 years old. I'm a mom of a 10-month-old. I've been married for almost 3 years now. This year we're going on 3 years. And I have a YouTube channel as well. So yeah.
Yeah, okay. So like Tjimee said, Tjimee's been married for almost 3 years now and she's only 24. So into our topic for today. It is getting married young. Okay, Tjimee got married when you were
21.
Just 21, guys. What was I doing when I was 21? Like, okay. No, we'll get into it. So before we get into the video, we're going to start with a few icebreakers so Mrs. Maendo can get comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah, so the very first one, most worn item of yours.
Most worn item. I would probably say my denim jacket, my black suede jacket, and my blue jeans.
What you're wearing right now?
Basically what I'm wearing right now.
Okay. Heels or sneakers?
Depends on the occasion, but I definitely wear heels more than I do sneakers.
Okay. One thing you cannot leave the house without?
My baby.
I was actually thinking about that when I was like setting up this question. I was like, it is definitely Elijah. He's here, guys. So if you hear him in the background,
he's around somewhere.
Yes. Who sticks out as being an early influence in your life? Positive influence in your life?
Like Namibian, or does it have to be international? No.
Anyone. The first person that comes to mind.
I mean, the first person that comes to mind for me is Kyra. She is her life is literally the footprint of my life. So her name is Kyra Stewart, if you guys want to check her out. She actually got married at 19. So I would watch her in my bed and I'm like, oh, Saba, well. She was 19 years old. So yeah, she's actually who I look up to, my female role model sort of thing.
I know, and I actually...
Do you know her?
Yeah.
Really?
I know her. You talk about her all the time. Like, I know. They have 2 babies. Is it third one?
They have 2 kids.
Oh, yeah.
She doesn't want any more apparently.
Was it? Okay. Alright, so you got married at 21. Was this something that you always thought of doing? Was it something that you planned to? Or how did you end up at 21 saying, okay, no, I think I'm ready to settle down? Like, not ready to settle, I'm like, I want to get married right now. Like, was it something part of your plans? Was it like part of your dreams?
It really wasn't, hey? Because when I was growing up, I think I was like, Meto, you know, when you become a teenager, you start like living life, experimenting, you know, getting into things you're not supposed to get into. Like in that stage of my life, I was like, no, I'll probably get married when I'm 30. I'll have like 3 kids. I don't even really want that many kids. And then I grew up a little and I'm like, maybe I want to get married, maybe not. It wouldn't be the worst thing if I didn't get married. And then the game changer for me was when I met Viku at 16 years old. He changed the game for me. He changed my whole perspective. He came guns blazing. He was like, you know, I really want to get married to you. I want to have your kids. And I'm like, who is this guy? What does he want? Absolutely not. So I used to like swerve him all the time. And then as they got to get to know each other and progress in our relationship, it's really a thought that I started getting accustomed to, and it just started feeling like, okay, this is actually what my life could look like.
So Viku happened.
Yeah, Viku happened and he changed the game.
Yeah.
That's basically like, because I didn't really, it wasn't the vision for my life when I was young. But I was young, you know, living life. So.
Okay, so once you realized you found your Mr. Right, and things are looking like marriage, how did you convey this message to your parents? Like, Did you guys start talking about marriage earlier? Did you already feed the idea into them a little bit?
I would ask questions. I'm like, Mama, so if I were to get married, like how would it look like? What would the processes be like? And my mom knows me. My mom knows I won't just like go to her and be like, "Hi, mom, I want to get married."
Yes.
I always come like this, in like styles. And even with telling my dad, I asked her to tell him so that he can come to me and like give me feedback.
Yes.
Because I couldn't, for the life of me, I couldn't face my dad and tell him, "Hi, dad, I want to get." I couldn't. So I asked my mom. I'm like, "Okay, mom. So if I were to get married, like, what do you think, dad? Like, how do you think he would feel?"
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And then at some point it was like really official, and I'm like, "Yeah, no, I think you should tell dad like I'm dating someone because he's gonna be around.
Yes.
I don't want it to be weird." So then she told him, and then one time he was sitting in the living room watching soccer. He asked me for like tea or something, and I brought the tea, and then he's like, "I heard about your friend. It's very good news. I like it." And then it was official.
It's this generation.
Bruh. But my mom's thing was she's very comfortable with with Viku.
Yes.
Because his parents and them, they like sort of grew up in the same church, so they're very familiar. They know his background and stuff like that. So I think that was the biggest thing for my parents, is that they know where he comes from, they know who he is, they know the parents, they know like the upbringing. We have the same morals, same beliefs, same all that. So they were very, very comfortable with it from the beginning.
So that plays a big role.
It
like,
plays. I mean, for it really does.
Yeah, because I have a personal experience that's like a little bit different because of the same point actually, but it's not even my but it's like because of the same point of like people, like our parents want to know where their child is going
Definitely.
and how their child is like gonna be. So they want to know these people, they know their morals, which are a child is going to be safe and going to be raised. And I know I have confidence in this young man because I know his parents and I know how they brought up the kids because of the morals that they have.
Yeah, they just want to feel secure that like where she's going, they want to know that she'll be okay.
Yes.
Basically, that was the...
Alright, so you would say conveying the message was very smooth. Like it went smoother than expected.
It was a little shady and dingy and dodgy on my side, but Meheto, that's kind of the person that I was growing up, was really the shyest kid out of all my siblings. My siblings are very straight shooters. I'm the one, when you want to watch TV or when you want to eat chocolate in the fridge, I would go to Buko and be like, "Buko, please go ask mom if I can get the chocolate in the fridge." So I'm that kind of person. I couldn't go just like to them straight and be like,
"So
can I
guys,
please eat the chocolate in the fridge?" So, and Buko was so brave, bruh. She was asking if she can eat the chocolate in the fridge. No, why would she do that?
And then now you're cringing.
So they already knew that that's the type of person I was. So...
And they knew that child was going to come like, "So mom and dad, I found a man, I'm getting married." Kind of. Okay, so do you feel like you were prepared for marriage?
No.
No?
No.
Do you feel like you went into the jungle and you found your way?
I literally jumped off the deep end. You cannot be prepared for marriage. As much as like advice you get, as much money you have, as many things you buy for your house, you can't prepare enough for marriage until you are there. Check the situation and how it is and how you adapt from it. You just can't.
So basically you're not a supporter of the statement of, "I need to get my life together before I can get married." You'll never have it together.
That. No.
You'll never have completely everything you need for marriage. Even if you go to like this premarital counseling, you get everything you want.
I mean, there are tools that can help you get equipped to get married and like sort of make the jump a little more comfortable, like premarital counseling, like getting everything in the house that you need, like getting advice from your family and friends that have gone through the same thing. But I don't think anything is going to prepare you enough other than actually going through the thing and experiencing it for yourself.
The thing of like, you need to experience it for yourself, and it's also, you are a different person and the person giving you advice is a different person. You're not marrying their husband, you're marrying your own husband.
The dynamics are different all around.
Yeah. Okay guys, there you have it. Go marry that man, okay? Stop waiting. Go marry him. Okay, were you homesick once? Okay, so now you're married and gone. You're 21. Oh my goodness, how did that look like? Did you visit home a lot? How did you navigate like your homesick feelings?
Yo, it was crazy. It was wild. Because up until a year before I got married, I downloaded this app, like a countdown app, you know, like, look, I have 97 days left.
Oh,
37 days. So I'd literally count down the days till I got married. And that would make like everyone in the house so angry, like, yeah, you're just counting down the days till you leave us. How could you do that? I'm like, no, I'm excited to go. I'm getting married.
I
I'm
know that
leaving.
feeling. I know that feeling. Yeah.
Counting down, my dear, until the day that Sunday that we drove away in the car. As soon as I saw my mom, I just started bawling.
That's when it came back to you that you're
That's
actually
when
gone.
it hit me that, oh my gosh, like, you're not going back home. You're not going back to your, but you'll never go back to Kiterahi for December ever again. You're never gonna have Christmas with your family ever again. You're never gonna wake up in the morning and make your parents breakfast and tea ever again. Like, you'll never gonna hindwai mama and papa way rukwa. Like, everything's gonna be different from this point onwards. That's when it actually like hit me like, oh snap. And then the whole time in the tent, you know, when you're on the other side, you know, the bride is supposed to be quiet and not doing it. I was there, my dear. Just in my tears. Because it literally hit me. And then as soon as we got back from our honeymoon, I was told to come, like, I think I forgot my mattress at home. Do you think we can go pick it up? We didn't even from our honeymoon. We didn't even get to our house. I asked him, let's quickly go to home to get the mattress.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, what are you doing here? Weren't you so excited to leave?
Now you are here like, we'll go bye. We'll go cover the second
I'm like, no, I just came to get the mattress. What mattress? This is our mattress. This is not your mattress. Go buy another mattress.
You must wanted to go.
It was so bittersweet, but like low-key, high-key, they were happy to see me. Low-key, high-key, I was happy to be there. You know? But I'm like, yeah, no, I have to actually go and do life. You know, it's really bittersweet because it's like what you've been waiting for. But then it's also like, it's a whole different dynamic. Like, nothing's ever going to be the same again. But then at the same time, you're starting life with your person. It's like a new beginning. It's like everything is new. Like, life is what you're going to make of it right now.
Now,
so
how did you like navigate that? Like, okay, I'm homesick, but I can't go to my mother's house every day of the week.
Yeah, I would go now.
You'd go.
We would go visit our parents like crazy. Like the first couple of months that we would get married, I think we would see our parents like every single week. Like we would go.
You see, so it's like what works for you as a couple. With African families, when you get married, it's like you leave your family. So I'm like, you say like you used to go visit, you know. So does that go like without saying that like, no, when you're going to see your family, we're also going to see my family? Or is it like, or you actually have to be like, no, I actually want to go see my mom and dad?
I mean, because we were young and we weren't fully moved out, or I wasn't fully moved out. Like there would still be things that I would have to go home and go get. So there was always an excuse to go back home. But in the back of my mind, I also wanted to respect like the fact that okay, now I'm married. I can't always just go back home and it has to be a discussion. But my husband is really cool about it. He's not very like, no, we can't go see your family. No, this, you know. Even like my mom would tell me that no, Shwakupa, you won't be able to come back. Okay, Ferahi, and I was so sad. And then my husband would say things like, no, we should go. Okay, Ferahi, holiday, what? And I'm like, wait, what? I thought we're not supposed to go back.
Yeah.
So I guess it just depends on like your dynamics and
your partner and all of
preferences and stuff like that.
Like it depends on how you guys work and your own dynamics. When there's no like manual to it of like.
I mean, we do have like a guideline. We have culture, we have Christianity, we do have like certain guidelines. But at the end of the day, it is what works for you guys in your home. Yeah.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so we're coming to like the end of our video. It's so like, I feel like that's fast.
So short. Yeah.
So short. What can you say has been the most valuable piece of advice that you got when you're getting married? A wise woman once said.
So I would get like lots of advice. So one of the pieces of advice that I got would be like, if you have like tons of money, like before you get married, just like buy as much as you can, like buy your fridge, buy your microwave, buy your couch.
She keeps telling me that all the time.
Yeah, and I do keep telling her because it's so important. Because once you get married, especially when you're married young and you're still building and you're trying to make it, my dear, the way those bills hit, you won't even be able to think about Oiskasapo, visita. So like you really need to get everything in before you get married, even like your personal stuff. I remember my husband bought like a lot of clothes before he got married because he knew that once we get married, there won't be a budget to come and clothes, what makeup, what. So I would say like just get everything that you can before you get married, because in the beginning really you guys are really just trying to build. There will be a time where you do grow and you start getting comfortable and you start buying the things that you want to buy. But in the beginning, it's really like cutthroat and stuff. Even if you make like lots of money, there are so many expenses that come into like first time.
So like for the first 2 years
out,
and all of
not even like it can even just be like the first 5-6 months, first year, depending on you guys' incomes and your budgets and stuff like that.
So you'd also say once you're inside, you need to mentally prepare yourself that like things are not gonna look like we're having date night every Friday anymore. We have priorities. We have to make other ends meet. Don't start saying you used to date me and you used to na.
And that's why it really takes like two mature people to like really understand and like know that okay, this is life. This is the decision we made as a couple to love each other and live together. There are going to be some sacrifices, there are going to be some compromises, and we just need to understand that fact. It's not even like that deep. Come on, no, he doesn't take me out on dates anymore. Those things will come back eventually. He doesn't buy me this anymore. They will come back eventually, as long as you guys are working hard and you're disciplined and you have the same common goal in mind at the end of the day.
Exactly. Because my sister-in-law, she's like, one piece of advice that they got during their premarital counseling is that this person, your partner, that chose you to get married to you, doesn't wish bad for you because they love you. So don't ever sit in the space and be like, oh, but like you don't do this for me and whatnot. It's like, am I able to do that for you? They don't wish you bad. They chose you. They want to be with you. Exactly. So why do you have it out for them to like keep tabs on them while you love them so much? And why don't you think that they love you so much and they want to be with you as much as you want to be with them?
Yeah, but most of those things like that's like projection. You know, like my deepest fears is now what I'm putting on the other person, even though that's not what the other person is feeling. So it's just like good to stay mindful and always be interested. Oh, another thing that relates to this is like when you guys are arguing, you shouldn't focus on like what the other person did. Because that's how you guys start ugly fighting. You start being like, so, non so, like stuff like that. You can't like always be pinpointing at the person. You always need to like introspect and look, okay, what did I do personally to make the situation the way it is? And then, the Bible on paper, there's a reason why the Bible is the Bible and why we follow the guidelines of the Bible. When it says that husband loves your wife, love your wives, wives submit to your husbands, like those things go hand in hand. If I self-introspect and see what did I do to make the situation the way it is, and I go to my husband and I'm like, listen here, I'm sorry for that. That. The way that conversation will go
from there onwards,
as opposed to, hey, you did this, you don't even love me, you don't do this for me anymore, you. The way those two conversations, the outcomes of those two conversations will be so different. So if I and I tell him this is what I did and this, he will come in a loving manner and be like, yeah, no, I hear you, and on my part I also did this and this and this, and I'm sorry for that. And you guys will reconcile, as opposed to like now just fighting like cats and dogs and like breaking each other down. It's really not, how do you say, fruitful or productive or whatever.
For the relationship.
For the relationship.
And they say that it's both of you against the problem, not both of you against each other.
Yeah.
But That's a solid point, though. I'm like
Uh-huh.
taking it in still when like
Mhm.
actually this is why it's written like that. Men crave their respect and you crave your love. So
And I didn't even know how big of a deal it was. Hey, respect is everything for a man, and for us women, we just want to be loved.
as long as you love, you will feel respected. You will feel everything else.
And if you guys are both doing that,
Yeah.
it means like mother pudding and custard. It literally it's the
Goes
perfect
together.
combination.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is actually the biggest piece of advice that I got. It's just like being introspecting and like just working on myself, how I can be a better wife to my husband, and everything will fall into place, honestly.
And they will work on themselves.
And they will
you don't
work on
have to keep
themselves.
tabs on him because he loves you and he will work on himself
Exactly.
to be a better husband to his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now.
Oh, another piece of advice that I got is don't let the dishes stay overnight.
Is that actually sustainable? Is it it's a good piece of advice, but like
It's a really good piece of advice if you think about it, because my aunt was like, it was my aunt that gave it to me. She's like, Tjimee, it doesn't matter how tired you are, how late it is, just never leave the dishes overnight, and always make sure that you mop the house at the end of the day every day. I mean, if you do those two things, I know your house will look nice.
I know.
The house will look good, but like, is it realistic?
Yes.
Like, can you actually manage it?
But why is it a good piece of advice? Is it the cleanliness of the
Yeah,
space?
because I feel like and there are dirty dishes and the floor is dirty. The house just looks dirty.
It's a mess.
Yeah, even if there's like clutter on the seats or whatever, like it's clean, you know.
Because the floors are clean and dishes are
Yeah.
not. And I also heard something that like when the visitors come in, they don't ask whose day is it to wash dishes today.
They look at you.
Yeah.
Kind of,
They don't ask. They don't ask. Also, who cooked, who's washing dishes? Your routine at home. When they walk in, they see the dishes and they're like,
This is
"Oh,
the woman that we went to go get. And you don't want those things, bruh.
And it's also, what am I doing? Much you talk about oh, you come be flying on top. Okay, for someone who's about to get married, a young girl, Samni, what would you say to them? Like now, I know you said a lot already.
Yeah.
You said everything.
Young girl that's about to get married.
21-year-old girl watching this and is like,
Sure.
child, I think I'm about to go tell my parents, Kusha, no, I'm never quit.
I think I would tell them to spend as much time with their family as possible. Like, spend as much time with your family as you can. I know you just want to be with your fiance, your boyfriend all the time, but you are going to miss your family when you leave. That's what I wish that I did. Because before we got married, I think me and we would see each other every day. Like, we leave in the morning, spend the day with him, come back at night. Most of the people are sleeping. It's just my siblings awake. And I'll just be like, man, I should have spent more time with my family, you know. So that's the only piece of advice that I would give, I think.
Alright. I'm just gonna ask you like 2 little questions. What is a book you would advise to a young girl getting married, or a young girl preparing herself, doesn't have the partner but is like preparing herself to be a virtuous woman that looks up to Tjimee? Because there are many girls. There are many girls, friend, that look up to Tjimee. Is like, what book could you say like did a number on you? I know you gave me the other.
The one that I gave you,
As
the one I would recommend. I would give them
The
the
name
Pursuit
is
of Holiness and the Pursuit of God. Because I read that book when I was, how sure when you give your life to God and then you backslide and you come back. So when I was coming back, it was like a really long backslide. So I had like really forgotten a lot of the things. But that book really brought me back. It's like coming back home and really like teaching you the things that you thought you knew, and like reminding you of the things that may have done, like these are the principles that you need, like sort of the guidelines. And it teaches you how to love God again, how to praise him, how to worship him, how to pray and stuff like that. So I would recommend The Pursuit of Holiness if I were to recommend a book.
All right. Even if you're getting married or whatever, you like come back to God first.
Yeah.
All right. Last question. Describe one word to describe marriage.
Roller coaster.
I knew it. Okay, sorry guys, we have this conversation.
It's a roller coaster, definitely a roller coaster.
Okay.
High highs, low lows, some in between, some, yeah.
It's alright.
But at the end, I would definitely say that despite everything that we've been through, I would definitely do it all over again. I would say that it is 100% worth it.
The same way again.
The exact same way again, because everything is the way that everything is. That's how I sort of got to learn the lessons that I know now. Yeah, so I wouldn't do anything differently.
All the lessons you have are because of the journey that you walk. Oh, sorry guys. Yeah. Anyway, we've come to the end of our video. Thank you so much, Tjimee, for being here. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and sharing your journey with us. Okay. We're grateful. And you do have wisdom, please. I don't want to cringe us. Yeah, but thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next episode. This is KayTalks, and we had the lovely Tjimee Maendo. Bye.
Bye.